Hey, I think seeing myself on the screen means I am live right now. Checking my audio level, which looks okay to me. Please let me know if you can't hear me, then I will turn it up or turn it down. Hey Frank, I see you are in here. One espresso doppio coming up for you. Let me see. This is the first one of these members live streams that I'm doing. It's one of the perks of becoming a YouTube member of my channel that I'm doing one of these every 3 months, at least one every 3 months. So we can chat about whatever you guys want to. The channel, content creation, cycling, beers, pretty much anything you want to ask me. This is the time when you don't have to be scared and you can ask me and I will try to answer all your questions. I got also quite a few questions that you guys sent in already. For those that couldn't make it to this live stream, for example, or some from viewers that aren't YouTube members yet. So if we've got some time off, hey Francois, then I will pick some of those questions and answer them as well. Cheers. So really, I didn't really have a plan for these live streams. I just thought this would be a good way to be a little bit more open and show maybe a few behind the scenes or tell you guys how I do things, like the stuff that I wouldn't want to make a video about because I want to make a video about nice adventures and not about which equipment I use or which software or tips and tricks on how to write with a camera. But this is the place, this live stream that we're doing every 3 months is the place to ask all the questions you might have regarding that. Thanks, Christopher, for confirming that the audio is good. By the way, you guys can also see on my screen that I'm doing a Swift ride at the moment. I figured this chat would be about an hour long, so I picked a 33-kilometer route that I still needed to get the badge for, because I'm trying to collect all Zwift route badges. So I'll see if I can complete that today during this chat. I'm definitely not racing today, just taking it easy. Yeah, as I said, spinning for an hour, that should be enough. So that's the program in terms of riding. In terms of other stuff, we've had, I think, 4 or 5 calls today about new trips that we're planning with the Ride Beyond crew. First one will be the first week of April, where we're going to do a similar tour as we did last year with Going Dutch through all of the Netherlands. Different group rides that hopefully, if COVID allows, people can also join. So that's what I've been doing today, organizing that, planning, talking to places where we can start and finish our rides. That's about it. And then after this I'm gonna have a beer and that's my day done. Maybe I'm going to practice my FPV drone flying for another hour. I try to do that 1 hour a day, so I can fly my new FPV drone in a little bit without crashing it all the time. Where are you guys based? Francois, Christopher, Frank? Let's see who else is here. My weekend was really good. Leon found this cabin place last week on Thursday that had a cabin free because of a cancellation for the weekend. So we decided to go, and then we asked my parents to join So I did absolutely nothing. I did my first run in about 8 years because I didn't bring my bike and I didn't want to only drink beers. And other than that, we just sat around, lit a fire, so really relaxed. I'm completely rested now. So it's good to do that every now and then. Yep, I'm on my road bike today, Isalco Max, riding the same bike as my Swift bike. Let's see if I can show different screens. There we go. That's me and Zwift. Hey, Anthony from New York. That's nice. Freek from Mechelen, Belgium. Shout out. So, as I said, if you guys have any questions that you've been wanting to ask, drop them down here. Eastbourne. I don't know where that is in the UK. That's where Christopher is from. And in the meantime, I'm going to see if there were any questions below yesterday's post that I can also answer. One from Frank. Shall I do your questions first because you're here? I think that makes sense. So Frank asked, what are your top 3 recommendations to improve speed and endurance on 100-kilometer rides? Okay, that's good. Mike is not following me on Zwift. Who's there? No, it's not Mike. So 3 tips to improve speed and endurance on 100-kilometer rides. I would say eating, definitely number 1 for any ride that's longer than an hour or an hour and 30 minutes is eating, because otherwise you're going to be really, really slow. Another one is aerodynamics, maybe. So wear not too flappy kit, ride a good bike, but I'm assuming you already have a good bike. Position, really important. If you're going to ride like this, because otherwise your back hurts, you're not going to complete 100 kilometers really fast. If you ride like this, you're going to go really fast, but you might get a really sore back. So something in between, a nice and comfortable position that is a little bit aero, but that something that you can sustain is important for a 100-kilometer ride. And maybe the third one, don't get flats, because flats make you go really slow. So I suppose getting a good tire, running it tubeless, running it at the right pressure. I always, well, pretty much always ride on my road bike 30mm Vittoria Costa Control tires, tubeless, orange seal in it, so that even if I get a small flat, I can just continue to ride. So not losing any time because of that. It's also going to make you a lot faster, I think. Alright, some questions from the live chat. Christopher says, Eastbourne is on the south coast. Okay, that's good to know. Here we have a question from Francois. I'm new on your channel, can you introduce your team? I think he means, does he mean the fixed gear team? Botje Racing? This is last year's kit. I have this year's kit over there, but you can't see it. We are a gravel and fixed gear racing team. So we do fixed gear races here in the Netherlands and also abroad if they happen. Gravel races are usually abroad when we do them. Sometimes one-day adventures, sometimes multiple days. But mainly we just have fun on bikes. And if there is a competition, we try to go fast. If you mean the Ride Beyond crew, Ride Beyond crew is the people, just my friends, 7 friends that I used to ride with a lot. And because Focus was sponsoring me with a couple of really nice bikes, I asked them if they could also hook up my friends. They did, so now we go on adventures together. and create our own videos, our own pictures, and also do stuff for these brands. So Focus, Map, DT Swiss, those are the big ones. And that's also just friends riding together. Yeah, that's what the crew is. And big shout out to Focus for sort of setting this whole thing up with the crew and supporting us so we can do all of these adventures. Maybe another question from Frank. I've got questions about your training. Do you prefer workouts inside or outside? I prefer doing my workouts inside because on Zwift it's really easy to structure them. You don't have to think about anything because you have erg mode, so you just have to pedal. And I think that that's a lot easier than trying to find stretches of road where you can do 2, 3, 4, 5 minute efforts here in the Netherlands, because you don't have any climbs that you can do it on. So it's just so much easier in Zwift. I don't know, probably if I lived in Girona or something, I would go on the climbs to do my training, but here it just makes sense to do them indoors. Frank has tubeless and is afraid of his first flat. Well, the person behind you is probably going to notice, because he will think it's raining and then figure out that the rain is white, and then you know that it's from your tire. Frank also asked if I train something other than cycling. Well, I just mentioned that this weekend I did my first run in about 8 years. I really enjoyed that, so I might take that up and do that more often. I'm gonna turn on the fan, so if you guys can't hear me anymore, please let me know, but I have this wind muff thingy, so it should be fine. Other than that, I do core workouts every now and then, maybe twice a week, and I do some mobility, some stretching, and that I think just helps me to stay more comfortable on the bike. So I don't think it necessarily makes me any faster, like in the short run, but in the long run, if I do a 100-kilometer ride and my back doesn't start hurting after 50 kilometers, I'm going to be faster and have more power. So in the end it does make you faster, but that's not, I'm mainly doing it for comfort. Freek van de Griend asks in the live chat what my FTP is. Well, of course that is a big secret. No, I don't mind sharing it. Right now I have it set to 310 in Zwift, and then my weight is 69 kilograms, so you can do the math. Hopefully I can increase it a little bit this year for some of the races. Let's see, AGP asks, how did you get your first sponsor or collaboration with a brand? Well, that was Focus, and it's a funny story because I had an old aluminum canyon bike and Leon didn't really have a road bike, but we only met, I don't know, half a year before, and this is 2.5, 3-ish years ago. And I wanted to take her out on a cycling holiday, but I knew she wouldn't be able to keep up with me on the climbs. So I figured I would get her an e-road bike. Then I sent emails to a couple of e-road bike manufacturers, just random, asking if I could borrow a bike for a week so we could make some videos about that in Slovenia. And then Focus got back to me saying that they didn't have an e-road bike for her, but they did have a really nice carbon bike for me, and asked me if I didn't want to get that as a loaner bike. So obviously I said yes, and ever since then I've been in touch with Focus all the time, and whenever I had a really good plan, whenever I thought I had a really good plan, I just asked them if they wanted to be a part of it, and usually they would. So Focus was my first partner, and it's still the biggest one. Let's see, core workouts like in my videos with Mike, yes. But more specifically, I do the workouts by Dialed Health. Wait, I'll type that in the chat so you can look it up. Dialed Health. So Dialed Health is run by Derek. He offers online videos and courses on training your core. Really nice guy, and really easy to follow workouts that you can do whenever you want to do them. So for me, that's the way I like to, the way I like to do my stuff whenever I feel like them. So that's good in Zwift, that you can ride whenever you want. And following his workouts is also something that you don't have to plan. Whenever I have an hour or I feel like I really need it, just go out and do them. It's workouts, maybe the shortest ones are 20 minutes and the longest ones are 40 minutes or something. I think that really helps you in the long run to have a better, like a stronger core and better overall body health as well. So I would recommend those. Alright, let's see. Freek thinks the stats are good. I guess he's talking about my FTP. See if there's any more questions. Frank, if I ever go to the gym, no. Well, definitely not now with COVID, but before I also didn't. I prefer doing just like body weight workouts that I can do at home. Maybe a little bit of kettlebell stuff or one of these elastic bands. I don't know what you call them. But that's all the equipment I need, so I don't need to go to a gym, which is good. Andy Fern, nice last name. He asks, would you aspire to be a Grand Tour rider, classic specialist, or both? Really inspired by your channel. Well, obviously I would aspire to be like Mathieu van der Poel or Wout van Aert, so I don't know how they classify, but I think, I don't know, with my size, maybe I would be better in the Grand Tours where there's a lot of climbing. Maybe that would suit me better than the classics where you have to be big and strong, like Mike. I don't think I would beat him in a Paris-Roubaix. So let's go for the Grand Tours. Riding really solo in Zwift right now. If anyone cares to join me, hop on Zwift. You can ride with me if you select it on the homepage, I think. Let's look for another question. If you could ride for a Pro Tour team, which one would it be and why? Christopher asks. And he's live as well, so that's good. Which Pro Tour team would I ride for? Good question. I guess the most obvious choice would be Jumbo-Visma, but I don't think I would fit in there very well. I would like to say that I'm more an EF education first guy. I guess that's what all the cool kids are saying these days, but I think the characters in that team, they're pretty unique, and I guess that would also be a good fit for me, to take it a little bit more, I wouldn't say less serious, but to also do things that aren't too serious. And in their approach, I admire them for that they are doing this in the World Tour where everything is about performance and not too much about stories, and they tell some interesting stories. Freek, question live from YouTube right now. Can you share more about your move to Tilburg? I wanted to buy a house. They were too expensive in Rotterdam, and my parents live in Tilburg, so decided to look there. Found a really nice house that Leon and I could afford, and now we're going to live right next to a forest. I think 20 meters away from the start of the forest, with an MTB track really close by. So yeah, just really excited about getting more space, because the house is bigger, to get a garden. I don't know, it feels like a next step in life. And we can get a dog there, so we'll also get a dog. Freek wants to know if I would join the Tour de Titema team. I guess that's one for the Dutchies. Who knows if they are going to make it to the World Tour. If I would get an invitation to ride with them, I would surely do it. But I forgot about their World Tour aspirations for a second, so that's why I didn't include them in my in my thoughts. Will it impact your rides with the crew? I guess he means the move. No, it doesn't. I mean, right now, Roel is the only one who lives in Rotterdam, so we move all through the country all the time anyway to meet up for rides. So I don't think that will change it. We are getting a really nice van that we can use as a sort of home base to start all our rides, so I can pick everyone up. And the train system in the Netherlands is so good that I don't think it will impact the crew at all, actually. No, it will mean I'm closer to Kai, so perhaps you will see him a little bit more often. Okay, another question. Who is your cycling hero inspiration, alive or dead? Yeah, I've only been into cycling for I think about 3 years, so I don't really have any old school heroes of cycling. And I would have to say that the way Lachlan Morton combines cycling in the World Tour with doing different adventures on his own, ultra distance stuff, I would pick him as my biggest inspiration in the World Tour right now. Lachlan Morton. Ooh, an interesting question from Paul. How much footage do you shoot for a typical vlog? That's interesting. Because I've been vlogging for 3 years now, and I've definitely seen a change, because at the start, I would say for a 10-minute video, I would shoot maybe 2 to 3 hours worth of video, trying to get shots that I could use. Which also meant that editing took really, really long, because you have to go through all of this footage to see if there's tiny bits that you think make a nice story. But nowadays I feel like for a 10-minute video, maybe I shoot 20 minutes of footage, and it makes editing a lot faster as well, because I know when I shoot something, I know that I want to use it and that it will be in the video. So I only have to cut out when settings are wrong, or when Mike starts talking. That's when I have to cut a lot. But other than that, pretty much everything these days makes it into the video. And that means, it wasn't a question, but I'll answer it anyway, that usually editing a vlog takes between 4 and 8 hours, I would say. Like a really quick one, when I have time pressure, like last year for Going Dutch, when I have to edit every day in the evening a video for the next day, then I would just crank up the volume and edit as fast as I could, be a little bit less picky about making everything perfect. Then it would take 4 hours, and now when I have a little bit more time, it takes about 8 hours to put a video together. Right, some more live questions. You already shared some, but what is your calendar for this year? Races and bikepacking trips. Okay. Let's see, how much can I share? No, I can share most of it. With the crew, we're doing Going Dutch Part 2, start of April. Then we are going, of course this is if Corona, COVID allows. But then after that we are going to Italy in June probably for a week of bikepacking. Then we're going to do a really epic bikepacking that we don't have a final location for yet. We were thinking Scotland, Iceland, or somewhere else. We want to do a really challenging route, a little bit like the Highland Trail 550. But as I said, we haven't 100% decided on a location yet. Then after that we are going bikepacking again. Oh no, we're going on a small trip to create a campaign video for a new Focus road bike. Cannot say where it is, cannot say what bike it is, but it will happen in August probably. Then in October I think we are going on a super lightweight bikepacking. My goal is to take a toothbrush, my passport, my camera, and some money. That's it. And then go bikepacking in a really remote place for about a week. So that's maybe the most exciting plan for me, I think. The one I'm most excited about. And then at the end of the year in December, we want to go to a faraway destination where it's warm in December. We're thinking right now Colombia, and go there on our road bikes to just ride some really, really epic climbs. That should also be really good, especially because in December weather is shit here, and then we can go somewhere where it's really nice and yeah, go on an adventure. Then we have 3 ultra races that Mike and I are going to participate in. Right, at least that's so far, it will be 3. First one is Red Race 96 hours. That's in May, the start of May, riding from Dijon to Koblenz. The second one is at the end of May, so they're pretty close together. This Red Race is more of a test event for us for the big one, which is the Bohemian Border Bash race. It's a 1300 kilometer gravel ultra endurance race that is taking place in Germany and the Czech Republic. That will probably be the hardest one that we'll do. It's a lot of elevation, completely hidden away in the forest, so I think it will be a real challenge to complete that. And then the final one, probably the most beautiful one, is Badlands. In the south of Spain, in the desert. I think it's 750 kilometers. Yeah, that's I think the one that I'm looking most forward to. Also because that's at the end of the year, then we have some experience doing these ultra distance things. So I haven't really done any of them yet. So I just hope that we can finish strong and just have a lot of fun there. And then in the meantime, if there's a fixed gear race, we will race it. That's about it for this year, I think. Quick in-between question from Frank. If I've decided on a new espresso machine yet. I did. I got a second-hand Grupo Iso Vivi? I don't know, something like that. Pretty nice machine that needed some restoration. Looks really cool, really completely chrome. Should be a good machine, and it's being restored right now, so it should be finished when we move into the new house. So that's pretty exciting. Then I can make myself some cappuccinos like I did in the old days when I was working in a coffee place. Let's see, some more live questions. Do you always take the camera with you for all your rides? Definitely not. No, actually, I mean, I create one video a week and I ride 5 or 6 days a week. So most rides are without a camera. And those are just having fun, training, anything together. But when I think there's a nice story, or when it's a challenge that we haven't done before, or when I can talk about something new, then I'll take the camera and see whatever happens. We don't plan too much of the stories that we make. I just bring my camera, we go out, and we see what happens. Oh, Frank knows the espresso machine. That's cool, yeah. Yeah, I think it will be really nice. Right, maybe another question. How long have we been going for? Half an hour already. Okay, that's nice. How's my route going? 10 kilometers ridden. Looks like I am almost at the top of the Epic KOM. I think. Yeah, nice. Let's see if there were some more questions on YouTube that came in before. Oh yeah, definitely a lot of questions. First one from Shelby. What did you do before becoming a cyclist filmmaker? Was it a natural progression from your previous career? And how did you get into contact with brands such as Focus? So I did already tell the Focus story, but before I became a cyclist video maker, I used to be a textile designer. I had my own studio for a while, designing clothing, and I worked in a place where we developed textiles for architects and other designers, really technical stuff. But then I felt like I needed a break, so I quit my own studio, started cycling a little bit more, made a video just for fun, made another video just for fun, and another one. And I sort of I planned this break to be 3 months, but now it's already 3 years, so I'm not sure I'll ever go back because I'm enjoying this new life. I'd never touched a video camera before I started this, but I don't know, doing all these videos every week, these vlogs, taught me a lot about the way cameras work and the way the software to edit them works and the way storytelling works. So I think right now this is definitely still a career in which I can learn a lot and have a lot of fun at the same time. So it wasn't really a natural progression, but I've always had an eye for aesthetics. Do you ever ride solo? Yeah, I ride solo a lot. And my motivation on those days, yeah. Usually I have a goal that I'm training for, or I have a Zwift workout that I haven't done before that I want to try out. That's usually the motivation, all the motivation I need to push myself, and other than that it's just we try to mix it up with the routes and go on a lot of adventures so that rides don't feel like I do them to get faster. I just do them to have fun and then get faster at the same time. Oh, Shelby is live now as well. And you might come to Badlands. That's cool. Maybe I'll see you there. Oh yeah, if anyone of you is coming to any of the events that I just mentioned, definitely put it in the chat and let's meet up. Let's see. Any more questions? Anthony asked something about the brands that I work with. As I said, the main ones are Focus, Map, DT Swiss, Hammerhead. Easton is a new one now. I shouldn't forget anyone. Looking at my bike. I think there will be a couple of interesting additions coming later this year, also outside of the bike industry, but we will present them when the time is right. see. Do you ever work on non-cycling projects? Not really, at least not with video, because I never used to make any videos before, so I've only done it with cycling brands, and so far I think there's so much left to try out and to learn that if a company from outside the cycling world does reach out, I'm sure I would be interested, but so many stories to be told in the cycling world that I don't think it's necessary to go outside of it. Frank says that if COVID becomes better, could you imagine we do group rides? Yeah, absolutely, definitely, sure. We will do that. We plan actually to do a group ride, or to try to do a group ride at most of the places where we go, most of the trips, to at least try to do one of those to hook up with other cyclists. And definitely also in the Netherlands, you know, we can do more group rides that maybe go into Germany as well. So for sure, I expect we will do more of those once COVID allows us. If last year it would have been possible, we would have already done it then. Talking and cycling makes me thirsty. Let's see. Someone asks if there should be more girls in the videos, and I agree. I would love to be able to meet more girls that ride bikes, women that ride bikes, and ride together. So I don't know how that should happen, but for sure I would love to show that in cycling there aren't just men or white men that are doing it. So yeah, it's definitely a topic that is on my mind, but that I haven't found the perfect way to reach new people that I don't know yet. I thought maybe the videos would be a good way, but yeah, maybe I can improve. If you have suggestions, definitely let me know. If you want to ride with me, also definitely let me know. Let's see if we have more questions. On another post. I was wondering. Cycling was getting hard when I'm on the radio tower climb right now. We have a live question from Shelby again. Not sure if this has been answered. What does your average working day look like? Wake up, ride, film, then go back home and edit. Yeah. A usual day when I film a video, a vlog video, looks like that pretty much. But yeah, that's only one day a week. So all of the real work that actually pays the bills is so varied. Right now, last weekend I did 3 days of shooting with BBB, so that's 3 days waking up, shooting the whole day, going to bed and doing the same thing next day, and then afterwards it takes about a week worth of waking up, editing, going for lunch, editing, going for a ride, eating, sleeping, and then that for a week, just pretty much like a 9 to 5 actually, except I'm sitting on the couch in the living room and not behind the desk because I don't have a desk. I think that's more what an average working day looks like, but also many days are just talks, emails. Like today I felt like I didn't really do anything, but I did speak to so many people, and that's also a big part of, you know, working freelance or as a working on your own stories. A lot of it is just chatting, talking to the right people, talking about new ideas, planning them, and then the actual doing is always like only a small part of the work. So my work is often really boring, but at least I get to decide when I do it, so that I can also find time to write every day, which is why I started this at the first place. So I'm pretty happy with that. Let's see if any questions came in on Instagram, because I posted about this live stream as well yesterday. Let's see. Yesterday's post. Hey Martijn, do you use a filter for your camera? Oh yeah, question for camera nerds. I don't usually use a filter on my camera, only UV filters. But today I got a set of ND filters, which for video makers should make sense. But I'm only now testing them out, seeing if the quality of the videos will improve if I use those. So we'll see. Another question. No, that's it. Are there any more questions in the live chat from the people that are here? Otherwise, I don't know what to talk about anymore. Little update about my Zwift ride. Almost at the top of the radio tower, and then it's all the way down from there. Oh, some questions from James that I forgot about. James Eon. Are there any more feature style promotion videos like the focus one in the works? Absolutely. I think he means the Into the Dark video that we made in the Dark Forest for the Focus YouTube channel. And actually for most of the Ride Beyond crew events this year, we're going to make a longer documentary style edit for each of those adventures. So that's at least 5 of them this year, and maybe some more in between. Also doing some longer format stuff for MAP, the clothing brand. So absolutely we will be making those, and maybe not even all of them will star us or the crew. So yeah, we'll see. Do you still use a bar bag when using a road bike? Yes, I do. Actually, right now it's on my gravel bike, but I'm using a Le Coffee Ride bar bag because the re-strap one I had came a little bit droopy. I don't know, it was touching my wheel all the time. This one stays nice and flat. So check it out, Le Coffee Ride. Shout out to Jeroen. He makes a pretty good bag, a pretty good bar bag. That will hold quite a lot of stuff, but not too much, because then it will be too big for road rides. Question from Freek. Who do you think will win Milan-San Remo? I think there's only one answer, and it's Mathieu. I think the other people might as well just stay at home. Shelby has a question: what tactics are you using to train for ultra bike challenges like Badlands? Well, right now the biggest difference is that we're riding a lot of volume. So normally I would only, my training ride would always be 1.5, maximum 2 hours, and then a lot of intervals or a lot of intensity. And right now Mike and I are just doing 4-5 hour rides where we don't really go super fast, at least not all of the time, but just make our body get used to just riding and riding and riding. And we're entering a lot of smaller gravel events or races that are longer distance, just to make sure that we know how our body feels after 10 or more hours of riding. Yeah, that we get used to that. That's more, yeah, that's what training is then for that. And when we do then a fixed gear race in between, we just have to prepare really specifically for like 2 weeks to do a lot of high intensity, and then hopefully we will still be able to perform in those as well. Freek is happy about the longer documentary style stuff. Me too. Those are, they take a long time to make, but yeah, sometimes the story just needs more time. Your heart rate is always so low, under 140. Is it your normal training rate? No, normally I ride a little bit harder, but now, because I want to talk, my heart rate is usually actually a lot higher than most of the people that I ride with. I think my max heart rate is 198. So usually when I train, it's more like 170, 175-ish when I do efforts. This is just recovery pace. Let's see, Christopher asked, will you be visiting any more manufacturers or cycling shops post-COVID with the crew? Yeah, I hope so. I hope we can visit MAP again in Australia, but that might be not happening this year, so maybe then in 2022. We're definitely going to go by Focus a couple times. I think we'll visit DT Swiss. Cycling shops, we're going to do a lot of visits to those in the Right Beyond Crew thing in April. Where we're going all through the Netherlands. And then yeah, if we're going to Italy and we see a bike shop, yeah, we'll stop there. We haven't really planned anything around those kind of shop visits. Question from Anthony, I think he just joined us in the stream. Manufacturer and cycling shop videos are great. I would like to see more of that as well. Huh. Okay, then maybe we should plan some of those if that's what you guys want to see. If you have any suggestions, yeah, let me know. And if there's any companies that want to show what they're doing, I'm also always really interested in technology and manufacturing. So if anyone wants to show us how they build stuff, definitely let us know. And we will come by if we can travel again. I think there was one more question from James. Ah, yeah, he's sketching a hypothetical situation here, that if we were having a barbecue together this weekend, what beer would I bring? Lucky for you, James, I actually brought the beer that I would bring. This is a really, really fresh. I think it was, it finished and it was canned last week. It's a New England IPA called Juice Punch from Frontal, a brewery that we are doing a collaboration with later this year. And it's super, super fresh. And honestly, there is not a lot better for, like not a lot of flavors are better than really, really fresh IPAs. So when I finish this ride, this is what I will drink and what I would also bring to the barbecue if we were having one. But first I gotta finish this 33-kilometer loop. And I guess we went through all the questions for this time. Next time, in 3 months, we can discuss more questions. And maybe there will also be more people that have become a member of the channel. It's something that YouTube offers, where for, I think in my case, €3 a month, you sort of to support the channel, help me create videos, and in return we can do these type of sessions where you can ask me whatever you want, and also give me suggestions of what sort of videos I can make, like the ones that Christopher and Anthony just mentioned. They want to see more manufacturers, so let's see if we can make that happen. So shout out to everyone that is already a member, and also of course everyone that isn't a member but still enjoys my videos. And that's it then for today. I will see you in the next one. I think this weekend there will be 1 or maybe 2 videos. I don't know, I will post this one and then do another video, so I make up for the lost time that I didn't post a video yesterday. Sometimes that happens. I had a little bit too much work and a nice relaxed weekend. So next week I will catch up on that. Shout out to everyone that was in the chat. Thanks for your questions. And yes, Christopher, I will link to the beer. All right, ciao.